leg. I lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. I mean, she made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Allen drops the throw. Checks it down. Almost picked off. It is intercepted. The Jags running it back. There's Antonio Johnson. 40, 35, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Antonio Johnson with a pick six. The Jags have extended the lead. How good is that?
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars radio, and with that, very good Monday evening to you, Jacksonville. That was yesterday, Everbank Stadium. The Jacksonville Jaguars winning their 8th game in a row, their 13th win of the year, second in franchise history, right? The only game or the only season that they won more was in 1999. 13 wins for the Jaguars, an AFC South championship, and a date with the Buffalo Bills. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Super Wild Card Weekend. And, of course, you will hear that game right here on 1010XL with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us. Boy, what a weekend. What a win for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just absolutely demolishing their arch rival. Anybody worried out there when it was 7-0 Tennessee? I wasn't worried, but I thought, you would have loved to have buried this team and not given them any hope. Well, they buried them soon enough. 41 unanswered points by the Jaguars. An incredible performance by this football team, and they are your AFC South champions, the 5th division title in franchise history, and only the 3rd division title this century. Going back to 2000, they have 2017, they have 2022, and now they have 2025. Plenty of thoughts about the Jaguars win yesterday, the season that has been, and of course, even though it is only Monday, we will begin looking ahead to the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, James Cook, and Buffalo. A favorite on the road, your Jaguars, 13 win. Jacksonville Jaguars, home underdogs on Sunday at Everbank Stadium. Guest lineup tonight looks like this. A little Monday night coaching with Campo. My buddy Dave Campo, former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Coach Campo is going to join me in about 25 minutes or so. We'll get his thoughts on the season that has been. We will also obviously preview the Jags and Buffalo. Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4 will stop by in the 9 o'clock hour, as will Mark Duffner, the coach. 50 years of coaching experience in college and the National Football League. So between Coach Duffner and Coach Campo, I got about 90 plus years of coaching experience joining me tonight here on Hacker After Dark. Every night on HAD, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night. And Dylan Denmark, let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal?
What is the big deal?
No big deal.
It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
What a difference a year makes, right? A year. 365 days. Today is January the 5th. You know that because you probably looked at a calendar at some point today. January 5th of 2025, the Jaguars lost their 13th game of the year to Indianapolis and fired Doug Peterson about 16 hours later. This, 1 year ago today, the Jaguars were 4-13 and going nowhere. And now here we sit 365 days later on January the 5th, 2026, and the Jaguars are a complete opposite. They've gone from 4-13 to 13-4, are champions of the AFC South. Trevor Lawrence set the franchise record for total touchdowns in a single season, and the Jaguars are getting ready to host the Buffalo Bills in the NFL playoffs on Sunday. Liam Cohen, James Gladstone, Tony Boselli, and of course, owner Shad Khan. Just a simple thank you on a night like tonight. Thank you for doing what you've done for this franchise and for this organization. Gladstone and Cohen, what you've done in the last calendar year. Tony Boselli, what you've done really dating back to 1995, and certainly what you're doing now as the EVP of football operations. And Shad Khan, thank you for what you did in hiring Liam Cohen and hiring Gladstone and hiring Boselli. You have done some terrific things as owner of this franchise. Sometimes it takes a long time to get it right, but this franchise looks like they have gotten it right. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And I got to tell you something else, too. That locker room scene yesterday, the Jaguars.com did such a great job in putting video out. You know, we all know, if you're on social media, the whole grill meme with Trevor Lawrence, right? With the smile and the chains and all that. So when they win the South yesterday, Jarian Jones in the middle of the celebration stops and says, "Hey, Trevor, I know there's this meme going around. We just want to know how much we appreciate you." And they hand Trevor the grill, right? The bling. And Trevor puts it in, and the locker room goes nuts. I don't know what's going to happen Sunday at 1 o'clock. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward in the NFL playoffs. But, man, I do know this. You want to talk about a team that is together. You want to talk about a team that has each other's back. You want to talk about a team that is a 180-degree difference from some teams we have seen here in Jacksonville in recent memory. That is this locker room in 2025, now 2026. It was awesome to see that celebration yesterday, to see that fellowship among those players, because those players have accomplished something that very few players get to do. A 9-win improvement from one year to the next. That doesn't happen in the National Football League. I bet you can count that on one hand, the amount of times in the last, 5, 6, 7 years that a team went from 4 wins to 13 wins in a calendar year. What a ride it has been, and what a scene Sunday, 1 o'clock, Everbank Stadium should be when the Buffalo Bills, and we all know what comes with that, we all know Bills Mafia, what that scene will look like. 1 o'clock Sunday, downtown Everbank Stadium, in what I think is the marquee NFL playoff game of Super Wildcard Weekend, the Jaguars and the Bills. And, of course, you'll hear it right here on 1010XL. We will talk about yesterday's win. I'll give you my thoughts on everything that transpired. And, look, we'll begin talking about Buffalo. I'll say this. We're going to go to Buffalo a lot this week. I got at least 3 guys that are up in the Buffalo area. Sal Capaccio, Bills Radio Network, Vic Carucci, who's on Sirius XM, NFL Radio. He's a Hall of Fame voter as well, a very trusted source in NFL media circles for years. We're going to talk to guys up in Buffalo this week. And I'm not necessarily singling those guys out. I'll ask them the question. But I'm watching Bills podcasts today, and I'm watching Bills radio up there in Buffalo today. Man, you would think Buffalo's coming down here to play, I don't even know what a good example would be, Georgia State maybe? You would think the Bills are coming down here to play Charleston Southern. No problem. No problem. It's Josh Allen's time. No Mahomes, no Jackson, no Burrow. If they win here, all eyes are going to be in Denver, Foxborough. I mean, they are ready to come down to Jacksonville and take care of the lowly Jaguars. The ironic thing about that is that's just people in Buffalo. If you look at nationally today, which I don't particularly like, Jaguars getting a ton of love on ESPN and NFL Network and CBS Sports. The secret's out about the Jags, man, at least nationally. Buffalo, they just must have not watched any Jaguar football at all, because you would think they're playing directional school U and they're going to coast to victory on Sunday. It's going to be a fun week. There is absolutely no doubt about that. More on the Jaguars. Again, the head coach, Dave Campo, a little Monday night coaching with Campo. He joins us in less than 20 minutes right here. Hacker After Dark, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
He was the best back in Jacksonville.
It has to be Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the Drill Monday mornings at 8:30.
A tough guy.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins DUI defense firm. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard. But in life and with Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops. All you do is pick more or less on at least 2 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Trevor Lawrence, more or less than 220 passing yards. LeBron James, more or less than 27 points. It's just that simple. And now Prize Picks has early payouts. If your lineup is off to a hot start, you have the option to cash out before the game even finishes. At Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. You can choose Flex Play, and you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. Or Power Play for the biggest payouts. And all Prize Picks withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code 1010XL and get $50 in lineups instantly when you place $5 in lineups. That's promo code 1010XL to get $50 instantly in lineups when you place $5 in lineups. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
What Major League Baseball pitcher holds the record for most career no-hitters and over 5,000 strikeouts?
Just letting your homeowner's insurance renew each year may cost you money. Shop around and you may find a better plan. Let Southern Oak Insurance give you an option at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Nolan Ryan's 7 career no-hitters might be an unbreakable record, but his 5,714 strikeouts certainly is.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Graceful like a heel.
You have 2 women?
Strong-minded like a helmet.
Good.
Tom McManus straps on the helmet and joins Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl.
Helmets and heels.
Afternoons 2 to 4. Served by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass. They say you're going to see a big difference, but what does that really mean? It means a live local person on the phone, a smooth, easy process, skilled craftsmen, and excellent customer service all around, with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. We're your local family jeweler for 46 years in Jacksonville with a huge selection of diamonds, gemstones, and pre-owned Rolex watches. And Monahan Jewelers is your store for expert jewelry repair turned around in 1 or 2 days. Most jewelry stores take 2 weeks or more, and many stores send your jewelry somewhere else for repair. At Monahan Jewelers, our jewelry repair is done in-house by expert craftsmen, and Monahans can turn around most repairs in a day or two. So bring your jewelry repair to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Happy holidays, Googans. Santa Dan here. It's the holiday season, and that means hopefully more off time with the fam. Need a solid gift idea for the spouse or a specific family member? Beaches Dermatology can ensure that your special someone gets a great gift that won't break the bank and won't go hidden in a drawer. Botox, skin treatments, you name it, they have it. Take care of that spouse of yours this holiday season with a gift from Beaches Dermatology. Call today or go online at beachesdermatology.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
A 67-yarder from the right hash. Logan Cook will put it down. There's the hold. There's the kick. The 67-yard field goal is good! From 67 yards to end the half. How good is that?
Frank Frangie, Jaguars radio yesterday. Cam Little now has the 2 longest field goals in the history of the National Football League and the longest both indoor and now outdoor. 68-yarder against Las Vegas, 67-yarder yesterday against Tennessee. Never mind the fact he made the 70-yarder in the preseason, but of course they don't count preseason statistics. But Cam Little, I mean, good grief, man. What a job by him. And if you're Tennessee, that was abysmal. I mean, just abysmal. 4th down, 9 seconds to go. You realize the cannon that Cam Little has, and you throw a pass like that that's incomplete. The clock doesn't run out. If you're going to run a play further down the field where the ball is in the air longer, where the clock would at least expire. You don't do that. Jaguars don't run an offensive play. They just trot Cam Little out there, and he absolutely drilled a 67-yard kick. Boy, it was nice to destroy Tennessee, right? Now, I understand Tennessee's down, and it sucks seeing Cam Ward get hurt. I didn't like that. I would have loved to have beat Tennessee with Cam Ward being healthy. In fact, I wanted to see Cam Ward because that first drive, Cam Ward was pretty good, right? And I thought, A, it'd be good for the Jaguar defense to play a quarterback like this, but B, just being a football fan, I was excited to see Cam Ward, to see how much he had improved from when we saw him, a month and a half ago to ultimately yesterday. And the first drive, he looked good. But unfortunately, he got hurt. Brandon Allen, the former Jacksonville Jaguar, came in. And that was the ball game at that point. They could do nothing. Jaguars win it, score 41 unanswered to win 41-7. All right, a couple of things about the game. The head coach, Dave Campo, a little Monday night coaching with Campo. He joins us in less than 15 minutes. Trevor Lawrence. Boy, you want to talk about confidence, man. There is a swagger about Trevor Lawrence. There is a, dare I say, bravado about Trevor Lawrence that we've very rarely seen, even in 2022. People point back to the winning streak in 2022, the playoff win over the Chargers, and of course the 8-3 start in 2023. Trevor did some really nice things in that 17, 18 game stretch, whatever it was. Yeah, that's right, about 18 game stretch there. Really nice things. But I don't think he looked like this. This is different. This is different because I believe that he believes in the coaching. He believes in the plan. He believes in the guys down the field. Keep in mind, nothing against Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. At the time, we thought that was great, right? But when you got guys like Jacoby Myers and the emergence of Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., Brenton Strange at tight end, Travis Etienne out of the backfield. Do you realize every wide receiver and every tight end that dressed yesterday for the Jaguars caught a pass? That's crazy to think about. Every guy. at either the wide receiver or tight end position that dressed for the Jaguars yesterday caught at least one pass. Absolutely awesome. And the offensive line was not great yesterday. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons sacked Trevor on the first play of the game. And in years past, maybe Trevor gets a little rattled by that. Not now. The confidence that he has and the swagger that he has, he gets up and just fires the ball 25 yards down the field to Brian Thomas Jr. Or that touchdown to Parker Washington. You can't throw the ball any better than that. I don't care who's playing DB. It would not have mattered with that throw. That Titans defensive back was in good position. That wasn't bad coverage by any stretch of the imagination. It was literally the perfect placement on that throw. It was awesome to watch. Trevor with 3 more touchdown passes, now 38 all-purpose touchdowns on the year. What does he have? 28 touchdown passes and 9, I believe, touchdown run. No, that's not right. 29 touchdown passes and 9 touchdown runs for 38 total on the year. I can do that. I graduated from Wolfson High School. Broke Blake Bortles' record for most touchdowns in a single season by a Jaguar player. You look at Parker Washington, 87 more yards, coming off back-to-back 100-yard performances. I think the Jaguars actually did dodge a bullet yesterday. There was a time where Brian Thomas Jr. was being looked at for a concussion. Brenton Strange looked like he came off the field a little gimpy. And then Parker Washington was on the ground after a big hit on a reverse, on a carry that he had. So that's about a 15-minute stretch in real time where BTJ, Parker Washington, and Brenton Strange, and you're sitting there wondering, are these guys going to be okay for next week? Thankfully, Brenton Strange came back in, did some nice things after he came back in. Same thing with Parker Washington. And BTJ cleared concussion protocol, was able to return, and caught a couple of passes as well. So all those guys are good to go. And I don't know about you, but I was perplexed, if not a bit mystified, if not a bit agitated, at why Trevor Lawrence remained in the game so long. And then it dawned on me that Liam Cohen wanted him to get 4,000 yards passing, which is great. Now we can say it's wonderful. If something would have happened, oh my gosh. But it didn't. Knock on wood, it didn't happen. And he got his 4,000 yards, which is great to see. So 4,000 yards for Trevor, 29 passing touchdowns, 9 touchdowns on the ground. Defensively, I mean, look, I know it's Brandon Allen. I know it's the Titans. But you can say this all year, particularly the secondary, which is really the only position that has had a lot of injuries to deal with long term. Offensive line has had a lot of injuries, but it's a game here, a game there, 2 games here, 2 games there. The secondary lost Jordan Lewis for the year, and Travis Hunter, who was playing some DB, they lost him for the year. So when you lose 2 of your arguable certainly top 5, right, guys for the year at the corner position, it makes you wonder, well, how is that going to affect things? Well, Montaric Brown is, to me, the next guy in line that needs a contract. They re-signed Jacoby Myers. Obviously, they re-signed Cole Van Lanen on Friday night, which I love. Can't let Montaric Brown leave, man. That guy's playing too good right now. Got to lock him up, too. Jarian Jones, playing really good football. And then Antonio Johnson. Think about this for a second. With those 3 guys in particular, all right? Remember last year? And it's fitting that they're playing the Bills this week because Ryan Nielsen, who was the defensive coordinator here last year, is like some assistant with Buffalo. Under Ryan Nielsen's guidance and tutelage, Montaric Brown was an afterthought. Antonio Johnson had been benched. And the best thing Jarian Jones had been known for was Saquon Barkley leaping over him backwards. You take Ryan Nielsen out of the equation. You bring in Anthony Campanile. Monteric Brown is playing like CB1. Jarian Jones might be the most improved player on the team. And Antonio Johnson has 5 interceptions right now and is a vital piece of what they're going to do moving forward. Like we said last week, and we said this when it comes to Liam Cohen, but you can say it when it comes to the coordinators and all the position coaches as well. Don't let anybody ever tell you that coaching doesn't matter in the National Football League, because those 3 guys are living proof in the Jaguar secondary. Brown, Jones, Johnson. Awesome this year when they were basically afterthoughts 1 year ago. Like we said at the beginning, it's amazing what can transpire in 365 little days. Obviously, the NFL Super Wildcard Weekend, we know Jaguars are hosting Buffalo. Also in the AFC, you're going to have the Chargers going to the Patriots. That's Sunday night. Boy, the Chargers almost wanted the Patriots, right? They didn't care. They didn't play Herbert or basically any of their main offensive guys. Denver did not play very well yesterday. They won the game, but they won the game against a large majority of Charger backups. Chargers get the Patriots. That's your 2 versus 7 matchup in Foxborough. And then Houston on Monday night, 1 week from tonight, will go to Pittsburgh. Boy, that Pittsburgh-Baltimore game was crazy, particularly in the last 5 minutes. You want to talk about the ups and downs of a game, the valleys and the peaks of a game. Good grief. Baltimore takes the lead. Pittsburgh comes right back. Baltimore comes right back. Pittsburgh takes the lead. And then ultimately it comes down to a kick. Chris Boswell, is the most thankful person on planet Earth because he missed an extra point. So Pittsburgh's lead was only 2. Baltimore trots out the rookie kicker, and he misses a 44-yarder. And that's the game. That's the season. Ravens season ends on a 44-yard miss. Pittsburgh advances. They get Houston on Monday night. As far as the NFC, Packers-Bears, how good will that be? Soldier Field, Saturday night, wild card weekend. 49ers-Eagles. Whew. And it's good that those two are good because the other one looks like it's going to be bad on paper. You got the 8-9 Panthers hosting the, 12-5 Rams. Although, ironically, Carolina, I believe, beat L.A. this year, like around Thanksgiving. So one of Carolina's 8 wins is actually against L.A., but this brings back into the question the whole, should a division champion get a home playoff game? You got 8-win Carolina hosting 12-win L.A. That is the first game of Wild Card Weekend, Saturday at 4:30. Of course, all eyes here are on Jacksonville and Buffalo. Sunday, 1 o'clock. You'll hear it on 1010XL, and we will have the 5th quarter for you. Myself, the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, and the coach Gerald Ingram. 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Bills go final. We should get underway right around 6 o'clock or so. We will have a special playoff edition of the 5th quarter on Sunday evening right here on 1010XL. Let's talk to a man that knows all about the NFL playoffs as a head coach, a coordinator, a position coach. He's done it all in the coaching ranks in the National Football League, and he's got not 1, not 2, but 3 Super Bowl rings on his finger from his time with Jimmy Johnson and the Dallas Cowboys. My buddy Dave Campo, former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. A little Monday night coaching with Campo next on a Monday evening here in Jacksonville. We're glad you're with us. It's Hacker After Dark.
How does it feel to throw an NFL touchdown? Find out from a guy who's thrown 89 of them.
I'm David Garrard on 1010XL.
Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
It's January. You turn on the hot water, expecting steam, and you get let down. That's usually a sign your tankless water heater is loaded with mineral buildup, slowing it down and wearing it out before it's time. So Duck Rooter is kicking the new year off strong with a Start Fresh Tankless Flush. Their experienced technicians flush and clean your tankless system, restoring performance and getting you back in the game. Right now, get your tankless water heater flushed and cleaned for just $99, 904-862-6769 or DuckDuckRooter.com.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served by Tandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
You like winning? This is former Jaguar linebacker Tom McManus, and I'm excited to introduce you to J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Greater Jacksonville. If you're a property manager, contractor, builder, realtor, or homeowner, get that feeling of success with less stress. I've used them. My friends have used them. So get your free junk removal and hauling estimate today. Now, I call that a win. Veteran-owned and operated J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256. We haul it all.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Just recently, Cam Little was good from 68 yards to set an NFL field goal record. You know who else goes the distance? The team at Coyle Fencing. Coyle is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has been serving the Jacksonville community for nearly 100 years. From sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love to tough chain link for your commercial project. Coyle does it all. Visit CoyleJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Looking for a dealership that treats you like family? Come to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they are North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with their lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, where tradition meets trust. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Jaguars Bills, Sunday, 1 o'clock, wild card weekend. You will hear it right here on 1010XL as the AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars, 13 wins on the year, find themselves back in the NFL playoffs. Let's review the big win over Tennessee. Let's certainly spend some time previewing Buffalo with the head coach, my buddy Dave Campo, former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Always a little Monday night coaching with Campo right here on Hacker After Dark. Coach, how are you, pal?
I'm fantastic, Hack. You know, obviously yesterday was a kind of a cherry on the top of the pie, but it's still got a couple layers to it. And before we put that final cherry on it. So I'm extremely excited, feel really good, and really fun talking about AFC South champs.
Coach, I mean, look, you're a former head coach, coordinator, position coach. You did it all in the National Football League, so you're the guy to ask here, man. The Jaguars and their new staff inherited a team that had lost 18 of their previous 23 games prior to their arrival. And in 1 year, they went 13-4 and won the AFC South Championship for only the third time for this franchise since 1999. How did Cohen, Gladstone, Baselli, all the guys, how did they do this?
Well, first of all, I think it started right away in the offseason. You know, I've heard Trevor speak many times about the fact that Liam has, you know, been very transparent with him on the things that he was doing well in his game and the things that he needed to improve on in the game. Well, if he's saying that, I'm sure they did the same exact thing with this entire football team. But it started with Gladstone and Baselli. I think they all work together. They do a great job together. I think they were all on the same page of what they wanted the team to look like. I think I've mentioned this to you before, that, you know, the teams that, you know, do the best job is knowing exactly what you want your team to look like. And they went out with the idea that we're going to make our football team better, not just specifically in key positions, but in the entire football team. I think that started that way. I think the physicalness and everything of training camp, OTAs, training camp went right into the season. And I think there's a great confidence that they projected. And the one game at a time mentality, I think, is what you're looking for with the team. And I think they've done that.
The head coach, Dave Campo, with us. And look, you look back on the 13-4 run, two things really stick out. Then a 2-week stretch, you lost Travis Hunter for the year in practice with a non-contact knee injury, and you blow a 19-point fourth quarter lead against the Houston Texans. That happened in a 14-day period. And they've now won 8 in a row, and they're 13-4, and they're going to the playoffs as a third seed in the AFC. That's incredible that this team overcame both of those situations.
Yeah, I think this team has proven itself, Ryan, that you know, they're a resilient group. And I think the only way, there's a couple things that I think lead into resiliency. One is energy. You know, this football team has had energy, and when you have energy, you know, you can carry it through the entire ball game. The fourth quarter is where you win football games, and this team has proven that no matter what the situation, they've played with great energy. The other thing is confidence in what the quarterback can do for them and the clutch plays. You know, that's the thing that sticks out to me. It seems like, and one of the biggest ones was not this week, but last week against the Colts, when Jorian Jones makes that great interception that really showed, you know, hey, this team knows what they're doing. You know, all of those things contribute to resiliency. And this team has it. And I think the one game at a time that they talk about, or teams that win talk about, is really what it's all about.
You know, you brought it up so quickly, you being a defensive guy by trade. I mean, you look last year, Monteric Brown was a backup. Antonio Johnson had been benched by the previous staff. Jarian Jones was known more for Saquon Barkley leaping over him than anything else. And now Campanile comes in, and this new staff, all of a sudden Monteric Brown is your cornerback one. Antonio Johnson has 5 picks, including a pick 6 yesterday. And Jarian Jones may be the most improved player or one of the most improved players on the team. Again, that just speaks to the overall staff and the job that they have done here with this roster.
Well, I want to be clear here. I was excited about Campanile right from the beginning. All I had to do was hear his speech in the locker room before from last year. When he said it's all about kicking everybody's tail. I love the guy. The guy is smart. He's very transparent. He's upbeat, and really that entire defensive staff, in my opinion, has elevated everybody. Antonio Johnson's a perfect example, but I think it also speaks to the fact that when a rookie comes in and they don't play that well, sometimes you have to be careful about saying that was a bad draft. They brought in some good guys, but there are guys like the guys you just mentioned that were here before, that second year and third year, there's improvement. And I think this staff knows how to develop guys. And again, that's a credit to the defensive and the offensive staff as far as guys having to do. Look at Van Lanen. He's a great example on offense, and I think Antonio Johnson's one of the bigger examples on defense.
A couple of more for the head coach, Dave Campo. I certainly want to get to Buffalo with you, Coach, in a moment. Final thought on the 13-4 run to this point, and that's Trevor Lawrence. 38 total touchdowns, breaking the franchise record. The guy has been playing at an MVP level for the last, I'd say, 7 to 8 weeks of the season. What are your thoughts on Trevor and the way he's performing?
Well, he's playing the best, maybe one of the best in the league right now. If you said who's playing at an MVP level, he's one of them. He's not making mistakes. He hasn't, he's had very few turnovers and a bunch of touchdowns in the last 5 games, and every one of those were important football games. So I think, the overall improvement by him is a combination of him, getting himself ready and knowing the things that he can do and can't do. And also the approach with him learning the offense, understanding the offense, and knowing the guys to go to in critical situations. I think he's playing, just in this ball game alone, 73% completion, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 111 rating, 22 of 30. This guy's playing lights out, and I think that is part of the confidence of this football team and the resilience of this football team.
All right, Coach. Buffalo, Sunday, 1 o'clock, wild card weekend. You know a thing or two about winning playoff games on a staff. You have 3 Super Bowl rings on your finger from your time with the Dallas Cowboys. First and foremost, Liam Cohen, year number 1. Udinski, Campanile, year number 1 as coordinators. How does their world change now from the regular season to the playoffs?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't think it changes at all for this team. When I look back to, the streaks we had, the one year that we won the Super Bowl, we lost the first 2 ball games. Emmett wasn't in there. And then all of a sudden we put a streak together, all the way through. I really think it's the one and done mentality that they've been in. I've always said that the stronger the division, if you can make it through a strong division, you've got a chance to, replicate that when you go into the playoffs. It does kick up a notch just because of the you're either win or go home. But in reality, the South Division started out with, the Houston Texans, the only team in the division. And all of a sudden it was a 3-horse race, for the majority of the football season. So I think that's hardened this football team. And I think the combination of that going into this football game makes a big difference.
There's no doubt that Josh Allen at any time can go put the Superman cape on and become the best player in the league. I mean, you look at his resume, it speaks for itself. I will say this roster for Buffalo maybe is not what it has been in years past, but Allen, there's no doubt, has put this team on his back. It's a big challenge for this Jaguar defense. Now, the thing with Buffalo, and you can speak to this, Coach, they also have the league rushing title with James Cook. They have to run the ball. If they don't run the ball, that's going to really prohibit things they want to do. So the Jaguars, who have the number one rush defense in the league, they need to come to play. And if they stop James Cook, that would certainly benefit them.
Well, that is, you hit it right on the head. The key thing with this football team, if you look statistically at both teams, which I've done, it's almost a carbon copy. I mean, it's literally very, very similar in every aspect. The thing that really separates this team, in my opinion, especially offensively, is the fact that when you talk about rushing, you're not just talking about Cook, which, I mean, obviously he's had a fantastic year. 1,600 yards, 5.2 average, 100 yards a game. That's a big stop. But then you add Josh Allen to that, Allen to that. He's averaging 5 yards a carry, and he's had 579 yards. So that adds to the rushing title. So to me, it really comes down to, I don't think their receiver core is as good as it's been. I don't think the defense is quite as good as it's been. But you have to stop Cook and Allen, and part of that is the fact that he's a clutch player. But you got to stop Cook in the run game, and you have to make sure that Allen doesn't beat you scrambling and doing those kind of things. So you got to be disciplined in your rush lanes and all of those kind of things.
I mean, we always talk about the spy aspect of things. I mean, is that a situation where, whether it's Devin Lloyd, Antonio Johnson, I mean, is that a situation where you want one of those guys to maybe spy Josh Allen at points during the game on Sunday?
Well, they've been very good on third down. So that lends me to believe that, yes, you've got to be able to do that. But in order to do that, you basically have to play some man defense. And I think the addition of Newsome and the way Monteric is playing and Antonio Johnson, they can play a little bit. We can play a little bit more man-to-man, which in that case, you can put a spy on a guy. You have to, because if you're just playing straight man-to-man, if they see man-to-man, he'll step up in the pocket and run on you. So, I think that's a little bit of an advantage. And I think we're going to have to do that on third down some. And you know what, Hack? We have not really been a sack team. So for us, it's more about getting pressure and not worrying about getting to the quarterback all the time. Just get around him, and that lends it to the fact that you could rush for and put a spy on.
Final moments with the head coach, Dave Campo. One of the interesting factors, too, that will start getting play as we get further in the week, their kicker, Matt Prater, got hurt yesterday. And we don't know his status, but he did not play in the second half. Obviously, the Jaguars have a cheat code in Cam Little, so you would think the kicking game, the huge advantage would be to Jacksonville in that regard.
Yeah, and I think we got better return people. You look at Gabe Davis is their number one return guy, and I don't look at him as a great return guy. We have some guys that have a chance to break one, both in the punt return game with Washington, and we've got some speed in the kickoff returns. So, you combine that with the kickers, I think we have a real advantage there. And I've always said that you have to win two phases, to win football games. You either have to go offense and defense, or you have to go defense, special teams, or offense, special teams. And special teams is involved in the majority of those.
Coach, final question. The game being at Everbank Stadium, I mean, that is a huge, huge advantage for Jacksonville. Look, this is going to feed the narrative that Liam Cohen's had all week. The Bills are a favorite coming here. I can't believe that. The Jaguars have won 8 games in a row. They're 13-4. They're at home. and they're an underdog at home. All week long, people are going to talk about this is Josh Allen's time with no Mahomes and no Lamar Jackson and no Joe Burrow. If I'm the Jaguars, and particularly the Jaguar fans, I am going to be so fired up on Sunday for this opportunity. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Well, that's been the way it's been all year, especially when we blew the 20-point lead against the Texans. And we've proven to the national media that we are, a legitimate contender. And so to me, this team has had a little chip on its shoulder from day one. And I'm glad we're the underdogs in the game, because to be honest with you, I think this team has that mentality that, we got to go out and show who we are. So, you never know how the game is going to go, but I personally think that home field is an advantage with this team more than a lot of them, especially with the underdog mentality. So, hey, I'm coming in for the game, and I'm expecting to enjoy myself. So I'm looking forward to this football game. I'm just proud of this team. I think they've shown that resiliency and everything that puts them in position to handle the underdog mentality, and they've been challenged here for the last 8 games.
Did we just get some breaking news there? Is Campo coming in for the game on Sunday? You're going to be here?
Absolutely. I'm going to be here. I'm leaving here Thursday, and I'm going to be loud and proud, but I'm going to have to temper it a little bit in the press box.
That is outstanding, Coach. Well, I can't wait to see you. Jaguars, Bills, Sunday, 1 o'clock. And, of course, you'll hear it right here on 1010XL. The head coach, Dave Campo. Coach, thank you as always, and I certainly appreciate you, my friend.
You're welcome, Hack. And I know that the post-game show is going to be, or the post-game show was fun. I heard a lot of it. But this is a great thing for the Jacksonville. I text Tony Baselli, and I said, what a great thing for Jacksonville City. And he said, absolutely, but the work is still to be done. And that's where we sit right now.
Bone-crushing blows to game-winning goals.
Yes!
Feel the energy on 1010XL.
History!
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Yes!
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich. They quote all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Professional painters know the right finish starts with the right paint. That's why they trust First Coast Paint. Featuring Benjamin Moore paints and expert customer service, First Coast Paint keeps the pros stocked and rolling. No gimmicks, no big box confusion, just top quality Benjamin Moore paint, advice, and the best service in Jacksonville, period. Because real pros don't cut corners, they color them. First Coast Paint, with locations in St. John's and St. Augustine. Simply superior paint.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296. Find Salem, NMLS ID 1182429. Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow, mirrors cut exactly to your style, fogged or broken glass replaced, decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Start your new year off healthy and get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, and kidney. Early detection is key with 5 locations across Northeast Florida. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Halftime, Hacker After Dark, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock as we do every night right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, my buddy Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4 will stop by in about 15 minutes or so. And then later on in the 9 o'clock hour, the coach, Mark Duffner, 50 years coaching experience for Coach Duffner. The man has game planned for Josh Allen in recent years because Coach Duffner, up until last season, was a defensive analyst for the Cincinnati Bengals. So we'll talk about the Jaguars being 13-4. We'll talk Trevor Lawrence. We'll talk Liam Cohen. But we will talk about Josh Allen and James Cook with a guy that literally put a game plan together to try to stop those guys in recent years. And that conversation comes up in just a bit here on Hacker After Dark. Quickly, in non-Jaguar related news, a couple of things in the world of sports. Boyd Denmark, the transfer portal opened January 2nd. And again, I have no idea if any of these guys are going to be any good, but I believe the number is already 4, and it's going to grow increasingly higher. Florida has picked up a lot of commitments yesterday and today. I guess the Aaron Philo one is, I've seen some places where it's official and some places where it's not. I don't know how it can be both. I don't know if they've reached a deal with him yet, although they just got one of his favorite targets at wide receiver to commit earlier today. It appears that Buster Faulkner is bringing a lot of guys from Georgia Tech with him in the portal.
Yeah, I've seen like 3 or 4 players from Georgia Tech, a couple from Baylor.
And then a couple others here and there, like tight end from James Madison.
Yeah, ironically, a tight end from James Madison, who did not want to stay with Billy, is coming to Gainesville.
Yeah, I've seen that. So the James Madison pipeline's running thoroughly pretty good,
Yeah.
and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, you don't know. You have no idea. I did see where a couple of Gators, including Sharif Denson from right here in Jacksonville, that entered the portal, committed to Ole Miss. Hayden Hansen to Oklahoma. I know Hayden Hansen's like your favorite Gator of all time.
Right behind Arliss Boardingham and the other tight end we always use.
You surprised that Hansen's going to a place like Oklahoma?
No, he's decent, but I mean, I don't know.
That's wonderful analysis.
Yes, I just can't. I mean, like, I don't know. I didn't really expect him to go to a lower level Power 5 or Power 4 program. I expected him to stay.
I actually thought he might end up at James Madison, honestly, as much as Billy Napier liked to use him. But going to Oklahoma, obviously he's thought of in high regard. And then you and I were talking during the break there. Grayson Howard from Jackson High School right here, formerly of now South Carolina and Florida. And it's a shame it didn't work out because I really like Grayson. He ends up apparently now at USF. And I would have to think that he would probably fit in at USF and be a contributor right off the bat. I mean, Grayson Howard's a good player. And to go to a place like USF, you'd have to think that he's going to be able to get on the field relatively quickly, would he not?
Oh, definitely. I mean, this year he battled a lot of injuries, so he wasn't able to see the field. But when he's healthy, he's a really good linebacker.
You know, that's the Gator transfer portal thoughts. Gator basketball quickly. I commend the Gators because they have decided, I guess in a team meeting, that they're just not going to win a one-possession game, which is a good motto to have, I guess, moving forward, because TCU, UConn, Duke, and now Missouri, and they've lost them all. I mean, if you want to lump Arizona in there, that was a 3-point game with under a minute to go. Florida has just decided that when they're down 1 or 2 with under 30 seconds to go, they're just not going to hit a shot. I mean, good grief, man. How many times can you lose by 2 or 3 points? Now, look, they won the freaking national title last year. So whatever happens this year, it's going to be hard to complain. But I'm at the point now where I'd rather them lose by 30. I'm getting tired of losing gut-wrenching heartbreakers at the buzzer like Florida has lost to Duke, to Arizona, now to Missouri, UConn. Who was the other one? Was it TCU, I think was the other one? Just brutal losses. Florida now 9-5. 9-5. 0-1 in the SEC. And Mike White and the Georgia Bulldogs, a ranked Georgia Bulldogs team, I believe, comes to Gainesville tomorrow night. And what's a big game for Florida? I mean, look, there's no coaches on the hot seat or anything like that. But if you want this season to turn into something, you got to start winning some games, right? Your street cred of winning the national title is not going to get you very much this year. And all you've gotten this year is a 9-5 record. And if you fall to 9-6 and 0-2 in the conference, that's not going to be good for the Gators. So that's a big one tomorrow night against Mike White and the Georgia Bulldogs. But as you can imagine, most of the week this week will be on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They welcome in the Buffalo Bills. I did not realize this. Crazy stat. Buffalo has not won a road playoff game in 33 years, which is astonishing to me. You got to go back to 1992. 1992, man, to find the last time the Bills won a playoff game on the road. I had no idea there was a streak like that. Now, I know they went like 16 years without going to the playoffs. So obviously, you know, I guess I should have thought about it a little more. But when I saw that earlier today, I thought, wow. Josh Allen's 0-4, I believe, in the playoffs on the road. So we'll see. Look, I don't like all the battle scars that Buffalo has. Those build character, man. I will say that. Those gut-wrenching losses that Buffalo has had year after year in the postseason, those have built character for those Bills veterans. So if this thing is close in the fourth quarter, Boy, it's going to be hard to put them away. We'll talk about it more as the week goes on. I do like Jacksonville's offense against a Buffalo secondary that lost one of their starters yesterday to injury. But again, we'll talk more about that as we get deeper into the week. Mark Duffner, the coach, comes up in less than 25 minutes. Coming up next, my buddy Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4. Let's talk Liam Cohen, let's talk Trevor Lawrence, and let's talk about your 13-4 AFC South champion, Jacksonville Jaguars. Jamal St. Cyr joins me next, right here on Hacker After Dark.
Put some snap and crackle into your Sunday morning football talk.
Just had a big bowl of kicks.
On the Terminix Kickoff Show. Live from Tailgaters Parking. 5 hours before kickoff. Activated by American Electrical Contracting and Campione Law on 1010XL.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly Pest Control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Florida doesn't ease into the heat. It comes fast and it comes hard. And if your AC barely survived last summer, you're already on borrowed time. That's why Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning wants you to start the year off strong with a new AC system. Make the smart move before summer hits. Right now, get their lowest price of the year, $1,000 off a new AC system when you install by February 28th. Call now to schedule your free estimate and get ahead of the season. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Balancing books and the grind of daily practice is what it takes to be a scholar athlete. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show, kept healthy by
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists
and the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234
on 1010XL.
Running a small business is tough, so the Florida Small Business Development Center at UNF provides a free business checkup, a personalized analysis that helps you boost profits, your online presence, and increase your company's value. No cost, no strings attached. It's guidance from experts who understand what it takes to succeed in business. Whether you're just starting out or ready to expand, it's time to act. Complete a request for consulting at unf.edu/SBDC.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Jaguars, Bills, Sunday, 1 o'clock, wild card weekend. Of course, you will hear the game right here on 1010XL as the Jaguars are AFC South champions after absolutely destroying the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Let's review Tennessee. Let's certainly preview what should be an unbelievable scene at Everbank Stadium this Sunday at 1 o'clock with Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4, always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. Jamal, how we doing, man?
Man, Hacker, I'm doing great, man. I mean, regular season's wrapped up and we still got football to talk about. Come on now.
No, there's no doubt. And, you know, when you and I and all our media brethren were down there in July and August at training camp, Jamal, if I would have told you back then 13-4 AFC South champions, what would you have said?
The AFC South champion part I could have bought. The 13 wins part, I probably just walked away. I'd have thought you were crazy, Hacker. The heat was getting to you at that point. Look, I thought this team was a 9-10 win kind of team. I thought it'd be a good season. I didn't think 13 wins, and I mean, even the losses, for the most part, you look at them and say, I mean, you could have had the Cincinnati game, you should have had the Texans game, to where you're talking about 14, 15 wins maybe, but 13 is an incredible number. I mean, the second best win total in franchise history. I don't think any of us really saw that coming.
Jamal, you follow this team as close as anybody, man. How did Cohen, Gladstone, Baselli, the rest of the staff, how did they do this in 1 year's time?
Man, it's tough to put your finger on it, right? But when you find a coach who can invigorate a locker room and lead people as a group, and bring them together the way that Liam Cohen has, that gives you a chance. And that's the impressive thing about what he's done to me, is that this wasn't a complete teardown. They didn't completely gut it and just flip this roster and bring in a bunch of talent in the offseason like you see in college, where they just hit the transfer portal and went and got guys. They brought in a handful of free agents, but for the most part, what they're doing is doing this thing with guys that were honestly cast-offs by the last regime. I mean, Buster Brown was a depth guy. He's playing as one of your top cornerbacks. Antonio Johnson's making plays left and right. The previous regime had benched him. I mean, you got guys out there. I mean, Cole Van Lannon, he's your starting left tackle. It honestly, it's interesting to see how, when you have a coach who's trying to cater this thing as much as he can to his players' strengths, and then also being able to talk to these guys and motivate the locker room, how much of a difference it can make.
Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence breaking the franchise record for total touchdowns. His 3-touchdown performance against Tennessee put him at 38 for the year. I believe that breaks the Boats record, right? Blake Bortles in franchise history. And really, Trevor has had 2 seasons. There was before the bye week and after the bye week. And after the bye week, I don't know how many quarterbacks have played better, quite frankly, than Trevor Lawrence. Why did this happen? Why did Trevor turn it around midseason?
You know, we've seen this from him before. I mean, back in 2022, you could basically say the same thing. It was 2 seasons in the middle of the season. Before the Broncos game, after the Broncos game. 2 very different quarterbacks, and the light came on, and when he got hot, he was hot, and that's how they went on that run that ended in Kansas City in the divisional round of the playoffs. But this time feels, I don't know, it just feels and looks different. This Trevor, he looks like he has confidence. He's playing with a ton of swagger out there, and I mean, he's just out there slinging it and throwing it around. I mean, eerily reminiscent of the guy everybody saw back when he was at Clemson. Honestly, it's tough to put your finger on. I think he has reliable weapons. I think adding Jacoby Myers has been, hugely helpful. I think having Brian Thomas healthy, where defenses still respect that guy, has been helpful. The emergence of Parker Washington has been huge. Having Brenton Strange has been great. But I also think that Trevor's play has been the reason all these guys have been able to emerge and be like they are, is because he's trusting the throw and trusting what he's seeing and just going out there and letting it rip. And he's honestly using his legs more. The offensive line's helping him out probably the most he's ever had in his career. I think the pieces are just coming together, Hacker.
Well, and to that point, you mentioned the wide receivers. Again, Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4. I remember the day that Travis Hunter showed up on the injury report, and we were thinking, well, that's weird. And then it was announced it was a non-contact injury. And you could have taken a sledgehammer to this fan base for about an hour or so after that. It was, are you kidding me? And you want to talk about Liam Cohen being coach of the year. 13-4 is great. Turning Trevor around is unbelievable. But when you factor in the thought in this city when Travis Hunter got hurt and how they have taken that and done what they've done with the acquisition of Jacoby Myers, the play of Parker Washington, the play of Brenton Strange, BTJ finding his confidence again. Again, that was an unbelievable job by that staff and those players after that injury.
Look, Hacker, you mentioned Liam Cohen as coach of the year. I will go on record every time I can at this point that if they don't give this man the coach of the year trophy, honestly, they should just stop doing it. Every national media pundit was all over television saying Trevor Lawrence was overrated. Trevor Lawrence was a bust. Liam Cohen came here, hasn't played at an MVP level. Look, nothing against what Ben Johnson or what Mike Vrabel's done, but neither one of them walked into a quote-unquote situation with a bust of a quarterback and then elevated him to this level. Neither one of them had to do most of the season without their star rookie player. Neither one of them has taken guys that were honestly on the bench and didn't completely remake the roster and just had helped those guys completely elevate to another level. The